Hello and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to yet another edition of Three Live Canes. As always, I am Chris. That is over there, Bill. That down there, that's Steve-O. Here to talk to you guys about another week in Miami Hurricanes football. But it's not just another week in Miami Hurricanes football. It's a very significant week in the history of the Miami Hurricanes football program. The latest opportunity for Miami to get to number 6. The last time we had such an opportunity was 23 years ago. So these things do not grow on trees. A chance for Miami to break that number 5, get to the next level, reach that 6th national championship victory. Something that we've been waiting to talk about for quite a while. So we can wait another second here while I say, Bill, how you doing
today? I'm beyond big chillin' today. Beyond it. So just a dream season, a dream run, the gauntlet. I'm sure you guys talked about it last week, but at A&M beating Ohio State, beating Ole Miss, just an unbelievable run. Like you saying, 23 years. The last time I kind of had this feeling, I think I was in the 7th grade, and here I am as an old man. So I really don't know how to handle it, but we're a couple days away, 4 or 5 days away. But I'm excited to talk about it.
Steve-O, how we doing?
Yeah, this is one of the biggest weeks of my life. To put it frankly with you, I was 6 years old when we went to 2001, and I remember my house almost getting burned down in 2002. And so I'm very excited, just ready to go. I mean, we have so much things, with the whole NCAA calendar, how there's so much like craziness going around. And like usually in this time of this year, I'm all in on that portal. I'm all in on that recruiting. And where's this guy visiting? Whose mama is talking with the bag man. But as of right now, I could care less. We pay all those players money so you can play in games like this. So I'm locked in for Monday. I think we're going to be good regardless. I got some nuggets that I probably can't share this week, but maybe next week, or I might hint on something because there's definitely going to be some player exits on our roster. So we're going to have some guys, with some attrition. Just know that, they will be able to enter the portal after the championship game because they have that, extra 5 days or whatnot, I believe it is. So just know there's going to be some attrition. So I don't think we're going to be missing some guys, but there's going to be some guys that hit the portal for sure. I've heard of a couple.
Hey, I'll say this, like, credit to those guys for sticking it out though, and like playing out the season and not just like jumping ship early because, hey, I got to get in the portal when everybody else is getting in there, or they're afraid that money's not going to be there or whatever it is. Like you play. I mean, it got to be one of the reasons you play this game has to be to get to the highest level, win a championship. So, yeah. I mean,
100%. I mean, they're backdooring. I already know where 2 of them are going. But still, you're still part of the team rolling. There's guys, obviously, like the Dante Simpson one that made no sense. Chance, NC State, he had that going, obviously going with CJ Bailey, and they were kind of like, yo, jump in now or we're not going to have a spot for you. So I don't think Canes fans should feel that way with Chance. Some of these schools are just grimy. They don't care. So I don't really beat up too much on the kids for leaving. Nikar is in a very similar situation as well. They're saying, hey, if you don't get in now, you're not going to have a spot. So that's tough. That's really tough. It's not even about money at this point. You're not going to have a spot. And there's like 5,000 players in the portal. So if you have a landing spot, they're telling you have to jump in the boat now or you're not going to be playing football sometimes ever again. It's hard to blame them. But whatever. We're a move, and this is why we signed a 30-kid class this year.
Yeah, and Miami's certainly put themselves in a position to do this thing, both Monday and the foreseeable future. We will talk a little bit about that a little bit later on, but obviously,
we got some portal additions too.
Yep, that's true. We'll talk about those guys. The big ticket item is exactly what you'd expect it to be. We have an opportunity again on Monday to do something really special. So, National Championship Edition. A 3 Live Canes, boys. Let's see it.
This is for the national championship for Nebraska.
He's a stud, that Brown, number 98.
Urban's got it. Urban's free.
Slips to the outside, tries to stiff arm, and he couldn't get by Ray Lewis.
Big time players. Step up and big game.
Hard dog. Don't ask me for more. Hell no. Husker up to the races. That's what they needed.
That's Ricks going up for Thorpe, and it's intercepted near midfield. Sean Taylor's got another one. Who else?
Who else but Sean? Who else but us here on a Wednesday night? Who else but the Miami Hurricanes in the national championship game? Like it's the early 90s, late 80s, year after year, getting opportunities to go do this thing. Miami, like Bill mentioned before, a magical run. What they've been able to do so far, going to College Station, beating Texas A&M, beating Ohio State on New Year's Eve, setting the 2026 year off on a positive note, and then beating Ole Miss in a game that, I mean, I'm not, like, when we're here talking, I'm very optimistic because Steve-O makes me optimistic. But when I'm actively watching a football game, I can be pessimistic. And I was pessimistic. I had already kind of mentally, I got a couple different points where like, all right, they got us. I think I texted Bill like there was an ultimatum in there, either X or we lose the game, and then X happened. And I'm like, like, what are you going to do? And then, but by the end of it, we were in a position to win the game if everything clicked on the offensive side of the ball. And what happened? Everything clicked. The line played out they're supposed to play. Carson Beck played out he's supposed to play. The receivers made big plays. Everybody did what they were supposed to. Miami got the win and comes out of there with an opportunity to win that national title. So, Steve, I'll go to you first. I mean, just your overall watching that game, watching that Ole Miss game, just like your emotions as you were watching it, and then especially like when you got to the end of the game there.
Yeah, man, the Fiesta Bowl, sir, brought it on today. It's definitely, it was, my first one for the Canes, I think, in general, our history. The Fiesta Bowl has not been kind to us. So we joined Texas with being the only school to win all New Year's Six bowl games. So that's cool. That's historic. That's saying something. If only 2 schools have ever done that. So you got to be in some good categories there. But I was watching the game. We were all sweating. It was up and down. But I walk away from that game. I'm like, damn, Ole Miss. I can't believe Lane Kiffin walked away from that. That is a great team. They were great. They were hitting. Every time we hit them, they hit us back. It was literally down to the wire. You had fans arguing about pass interference with 2 seconds left. I mean, that's how close the game was. They came. We had 18 seconds. KB's hugging Mario. He's like, "Get off me, boy." So kudos to Ole Miss. I mean, that whole Lane Kiffin thing is crazy. I can't believe he walked away from something like that. I think what he built at Ole Miss is truly special because the way they competed versus Miami, it was a fun game to watch. Just as a college football fan, I mean, that looked like a good team. But from the Miami perspective, guys stepping up when they needed to. Obviously Malley made those plays. We're expecting to make those plays. Keelan Marion, he was huge. I'm talking about third down conversion after third down conversion, even down to the last drive where we punch it in with Carson Beck. I mean, they had 2 guys literally mirroring him. That's why when Carson Beck went this way, there was nobody. They had outside. They were banjoing him. You get inside on Marion, I stay outside, and then they ended up trying to plaster. That's why Carson Beck was just literally unaccounted for because they wanted to put an extra defender on him. And it probably makes sense because they kind of let him go for a freebie touchdown earlier in the game. So I guess they said, hey, let's get eyes on 0, which is not a bad idea as a defensive coach. You probably should have did that a little sooner. But for us, it was awesome seeing Carson Beck smiling, laughing while he's walked, slight jogging into the end zone. Emotions were crazy. I'm going to be like, I don't know, man. It's just, as a Miami Hurricanes fan, like that game, you're always expecting it to just go wrong. You're always just expecting it to go wrong, But I don't know, man. This team is just different. I feel like this team just really believes that they could, as long as they play the physical brand of football that they know they can play, that no one can beat them. And for all that's nothing, like Indiana's been blowing everybody out. But they did not blow Ohio State out because Ohio State played a physical game for 4 quarters. Bama did not. Oregon definitely did not. Them boys look soft.
100%.
So I just think that's probably the best matchup for them. But, kudos to Ole Miss. I mean, taking down Texas A&M, taking down Ohio State, taking down Ole Miss. That's, I mean, two big powers in the SEC. I give Ole Miss credit; they're a power. Texas A&M probably not. They're just a good team. Ohio State definitely a power, and we made them look pedestrian. We kept them in the game more than that score indicated. So I'm good. I'm good on that. Oof. I'm ready to go Indiana. I'm ready to talk anything.
Bill, same question. I know I got some of your thoughts via message during the game, but just like emotions about that, and then eventually like pulling out the W.
It was like probably the most like frustratingly exciting game I think I've watched. Quick kind of like backstory: I was on a work trip, so I planned out my whole day. I got to the hotel just in time. Was eating dinner, went to turn on ESPN on the TV. Of course, the ESPN wasn't working on my hotel TV, so I had to watch it on my laptop. But I think what the most impressive part about that night is we didn't play our A game. I don't even know if you could say we played like our B plus game, but we still found a way to win, right? All those dropped interceptions, penalties, not just stuff like the false starts, but the personal fouls. It just seemed like it was going in that direction of, hey, these are the types of game we always lose because, you go back and look at like Louisville, SMU, when those kind of mistakes add up, it just seems we can never overcome that. Yeah. And then, when we got the ball with 3 minutes, Carson Beck, the offense did their thing. They stepped up when, the team needed them the most, and they pulled it out. So, I go into Indiana, right, and the national landscape is Miami makes too much mistakes. If they make mistakes, Indiana's gonna rout them. But I agree to an extent that we cannot make those mistakes and expect to win, just because Indiana is a little bit different. But for us, a lot of national media say essentially we don't have a shot is mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, especially in a playoff season where we've seen, let's count even back to the conference championship games. We've seen all of these teams struggle at some point in time. And obviously Miami and Indiana are the ones that, emerged, undefeated from that stretch, even though Miami didn't get a chance to play an AC championship game. We got our 3 wins. They got there with 3 wins. But Indiana has not looked perfect at all times. Miami obviously has not looked perfect at all times. I think these are 2 teams that, based upon what we've seen throughout the course of the season, should match up or should create a really great college football game because of what each of them do well. And obviously the storylines attached to the game are tremendous because, you have Indiana, the losingest, until this season, the losingest college football program in the nation, getting an opportunity with the new coach and like rising up the ranks, and their quarterback is from Miami and played at the high school where Mario was and the donors are from and all that kind of stuff. That's an awesome story, right? Automatically. And you got Miami, this team that has been long dormant as a national power, but in a lot of ways helped to build up college football into what it's become based upon what they were able to do in the 80s, 90s, and then again in 2000. Like, college football has done nothing but an upward trajectory from that point. And then their early movement in the conferences kind of helped to kick off some things that happened later. So these 2 programs, very, very different historically, would end up in a spot where you have 2 really confident head coaches that know what they're doing and have built a mental toughness in their teams that I think it stands out among all things. When Indiana was putting it on Oregon, like you saw in those players that were watching that game, and I'm watching that game, saying I hope it's a good game. You see these quarterbacks go at it, and you saw in that game the Indiana players were like, no, we are here to decimate them. And they took every opportunity to do that. The local kid, D'Angelo Pons, gets that first pick 6, and then right from the bat, you can almost imagine them like just throat slashing on that. Like,
yeah,
all right, this is
Shamana Madonna product.
Yeah, all day with this stuff.
They beat Oregon so bad they saying they cheating.
Yeah,
yeah. Man. I don't know, bro. I know well-coached football teams. When you see them, bro, they're well-coached, man. I don't care much for the cheating allegations. I just think people are just grasping for air.
Oregon has a history of, or now they have a history of getting just blown out in playoff games. So
yeah, not their first rodeo.
So something's a little off there. I don't know what yet, but
Yeah, literally. I know because they're not physical enough. That roster is filled with all these 4 and 5 star guys, but are they physical enough? Probably not. Because you can look at the difference of who made it through the playoffs. Ole Miss is known as a finesse team. They're Lane Kiffin, high shooting, high shoot. Bro, they were physical. They were hitting. They played, their cornerbacks were playing physical. Chris Graves Jr., who was a transfer from Miami, he was there. They were going at it. Marion stiff on him to the ground. I was low key. I was like, yeah. But other than that, everybody was physical. I mean, so I think Oregon just falls short in that department. They're a little soft. They look soft, dog. Yeah, they look rattled. I mean, throwing the pick six on the first play is always going to rattle somebody. It's going to just suck the life and all that fake hype you had, walking onto that field. But, I mean, Jesus, bro, it was – I mean, damn. It was belt to buns all
that
night.
Pick six was so rattling that Dante Moore decided that he had to spend a whole nother year in college. He had to go back to college and do more time there because of that interception and what happened in that game. So, I mean, that tells you just the impact that had on some of those guys. Not to say it was – I mean, it's a good decision for him, but still, it was that significant.
Yeah, I think it was a good decision overall for him. Don't rush to the league with 9, 10, 11 starts under your belt. It doesn't work out well for you.
Especially when the Jets are most likely to be picking you.
Yeah. I don't even think that matters, to be honest with you. But I get the joke. I'll definitely say it and repost it, retweet it. But yeah, I mean, bro, come on, 12 starts. You think you're ready for the league? No, you're not, bro. You go back to college one more year. I think kids can learn from that. But it's a lot easier to do that when you're probably making $5 million to be the quarterback at Oregon. It's a lot easier to make that decision.
As long as they're cutting the check, yeah, you go back out there. But we get the win. We defeat Ole Miss. Ole Miss being a team that was very much there. And I think that was funny, like you mentioned in the chat. Chris Graves hit the portal right after the game. And I was like, oh, man, Chris Graves is playing? He's starting for Ole Miss, a really good team. It's cool.
Yeah, he started 2 years in a row. He's a baller. I ain't gonna lie, he's a baller.
He found his spot. It sounds good. And that portal. All right.
700 plus coverage snaps, no touchdowns given up. Great rating going on. I don't know where he goes, but he'll be fine somewhere. I always liked Chris Graves. I wanted him to be a Hurricane for a long time before he committed and then actually enrolled. But it is what it is.
It's part of the system now, which we'll get into a little bit later. But now we have Miami versus Indiana, and there's so many different aspects of this that are significant. And some of those conversations that we had in the last one are going to be repeated here because first conversation we had last time, we had a quarterback in Trinidad Chambliss who had won at a high level at a lower level. Had reached the championship level to that point, but still at first time at this. And we saw some of those things. Like Trinidad Chambliss had a really good stretch there in that game, but he obviously did not play a game that was up to the standards that he had to play at different points throughout the course of the season. And this is a really significant moment. Beck did what Beck has been doing for the past, 7 games or so, where he managed the game really well. He made the throws he had to make, and his ability to move a little bit around it helped earlier in the game. It showed how tough he was and how tough he could be mentally and physically, and then eventually scored the touchdown to win it. Now you have Beck versus a Fernando Mendoza, who at this point in his career, and you hear him in the interviews after the game, and you laugh because it's almost ridiculous to hear how he does his interviews, but in a way because this is just who this guy is. He seems to be very solid, settled in, a very different player than we saw last year at Cal, where he went 11 of 22 or whatever and had some good throws, but also some really inaccurate moments. He seems like he's a different guy this year, Bill.
Yeah. I was pulling up his stat line, and he's over 80% completion percentage in the playoffs, which is just ridiculous. But kind of he just fits the system. I feel like he's become the expert in what they run there, and kind of what I think differentiates him a little bit is he can move. He's obviously not Chambliss, but he can escape pressure. I was looking at his long rushes, and I see a lot of 15 plus yards, 14, 15, 20, 21. So he can create some chunk plays with his legs. But I do like the fact that I forgot what the stat was. He does hold the ball kind of a little bit longer than most, which definitely is a bonus for us with our pass rush. And I think that's going to be obviously the biggest factor in whether we can pull this off, is if we can get to him, and force him to make some mistakes that he just hasn't been making in the last month or so of playing. But it's a challenge, but I do like our defense against them, kind of just their how they want to play with how they run. They want to be physical. That's who we are as well. So I think we do match up pretty well from that perspective.
Steve-O, thoughts on Mendoza and how that offense matches up?
I mean, he's a baller. Let's be real with you. Everybody's seen it. He's exactly what you think he is. He's going to be consistent. He's steady. He's never too high. He's never too low. He's honestly a kid you would root for if he wasn't playing Miami, because I've been rooting for him all year, to be honest with you, just personally. And his legs are more of a problem than people understand or want to give him credit for. I get he has the complexion of his skin, but let's be real. He will kill you with his legs, because he's definitely not a statue. Is he a guy who's going to tear up the combine on the 40 time? But no, I would not be surprised if he runs a 4.6 or a low 4.7. I mean, he's definitely faster than Beck, and we've seen what Beck can do with his legs. He's more athletic than that, so you got to be ready. But if we stop that run game, I think that's what's going to make him have to, he's obviously the Heisman winner, but he's going to have to play Heisman moments all night on Monday. Indiana wants to run the ball. They play a very physical brand of football on offense and defense, but on offense they set the tone with the running game. They have receivers, but they depend on a lot of play action. They depend on a lot of Mendoza making perfect throws, and that is with complements of the run game. So if we could make it really hard for them to run the football, and just literally play Mario Ball, man. A lot of fans hate Mario Ball, but guess what? Playoff time, Mario Ball is how you win.
Yep.
Mario Ball is how you win championships. And it's not a strange thing when you look at Coach Cernetti and Coach Cristobal, being on those historic Bama teams where that's what they did. They just literally beat you up to submission. And that's how you win in playoff games. That's how you win in the playoff games in the NFL, all those high, crazy scoring games and all that stuff that you see during the regular season. You don't see that in the playoff time, bro. Let's be real. That's how you win when it gets cold. That's how you win. It's actually going to be a little chilly this week over there. It'll be nice. It'll be in the 50s. Be a nice little switch up. But that's how you win late in the game. So I think we should stop their run game. I trust our corners on the outside. I think we'll have, OJ full health. I'm pretty sure Damari might play. Don't quote me on that, but I think he's going to make it. And if not, Jabari Anton has already played the last 2 playoff games, been thrown on the fire. We had him covering JJ, for God's sakes. He's going to be fine.
Steve-O, to the question from Sergio, is there anything our DBs can do with those back shoulder throws? Because Surratt in the last game was making some big time chunk plays.
Those are Mendoza. He literally puts that right where, like, the Surratt runs 13. He's either putting it on the 1 or the 3. Like that, Mendoza is really accurate at the back shoulder ball. Unless you're beat, it's hard, because when you play great defense, the back shoulder hurts you more. If you're out of position and you're trailing, and that comes back shoulder, you actually have a better chance of that ball or not. So it's really about positioning. It's hard to cover a back shoulder throw, man. There's a lot of times the DB can't do anything. If it's a perfect pass, it's a perfect pass. But all you can do is be as physical as you can be, at the catch point, fight, play through hands, do everything you can do, because it's hard. The receiver can see the ball, you can't. So,
yeah, we saw in the last game, Jabari Antoine had a play against, I think it was Stribling, right? On the
number 1, yeah.
Yeah, where he made a play, same thing, hand threw the ball, knocked it away, going against their biggest, most physical receiver, and the true freshman wasn't afraid to go do that. There may be some spots, especially in the first half, before Lucas is able to get back on the field, like where he may have to go up against that guy. Now, I imagine Lucas will have an opportunity against him when he comes back in, but
that was so bogus, man. I can't believe Lucas is out. I can't believe they called no targeting on the one where the dude actually came and hit the guy in the helmet, and then they call They call it targeting on Lucas, where a guy stumbling and falls down, and there's no launch from Lucas at all. It's no crown of the helmet. It's literally not even contact, and they call that targeting. That's just ridiculous. I can't believe they're taking a half of football and a national championship away from that kid. That is literally terrible. Like terrible. How you could take a half of a college football national championship away from a kid for something like that.
I haven't heard anything about the appeal. I don't think they're going to change it. I don't think I've heard them change very much whenever they make these calls like that.
It's been said all over social media. They have to kind of look at the entire targeting criteria and just rework it. It just doesn't make sense that you miss a half from another game, and some is targeting, some's not. I mean, how many times have someone deliberately launched in trying to hurt another player? It just doesn't happen. Those are the ones where you need to factor in those suspensions. But kind of the bang
flagrant
bang
one,
plays
flagrant
that are
two.
happening. The bang bang plays. Luke, that wasn't targeting. Even though every time they brought in the ref in the booth, he was just wrong. Whatever he said, it was the exact opposite.
Literally.
So it's frustrating. Maybe I think I saw one random retweet of someone of it being reversed. I think maybe it was a Cal game. I don't know. Someone from Cal. I don't know, but it just doesn't seem like it's gonna happen. But getting Damari back, would be huge, especially against these receivers that are bigger. Kind of that physicalness. I remember him, going against, Johnny Wilson a couple years ago at Florida State, and really, holding his own. So I would love to get him back because I do like those matchups.
He's probably one of our most physical players on the team, and he just happens to play corner. So we would definitely love him, especially since, Indiana, just like every team, they're going to leave your corner as the unblocked defender in some of these run fits, some of these run schemes. They're trying to put you one-on-one with a bruising running back, So having a guy like Damari, who is one of our most physical players, if not pound for pound, our most physical player, to be honest with you. I mean, it's either him or Coop, to be real with you. So it would definitely be huge if he's ready to go, even in some capacity, if he's on a pitch count or if he's just whatever. But we need somebody's at corner with Lucas out for the first half.
Steve Bell, Bleed Miami Sports says, "Do you think we'll play more man or zone?"
I don't know. I don't like. I really don't like the idea of just changing everything we've done to get to this point. I feel like every time we've played soft and we played like that, look what happened when we started playing soft at the end of the Ole Miss game. They drive it down the field and almost died. I mean, at this point, we've been living with the sword. If it's time to die by it, then I'm cool with that. I just rather see those guys compete. I mean, we brought in this elite secondary. We have this elite defensive line. We have linebackers like Wesley and Toure who could flow sideline to sideline, Popo as well, Chase Smith as well. We have guys who could run sideline to sideline and do exactly what you need them to do. So even if they make a mistake, but if they make it at full speed, you have a chance. So would I say play man all game and blitz all game? Probably not. Obviously, that you're not going to do that. But I would assume for us not to change our identity much, be physical, and I think Keontae Scott gives us a lot for that. Because even if we're playing zones, we could bring him off the edge. He was always creating pressure. So even if we do some zone coverages, he's kind of that chess piece who could maybe manipulate some of those mistakes by Mendoza's reading zone, and the next thing here comes Zero shooting, because he does a really good job of not indicating when he's blitzing, not giving any indications that he's cracking down on the screen. Ask Ohio State. He's really good at hiding. It's just college football now. They all, you're in this? Let me look to the sideline. All right, check. He's really good at making sure that he doesn't give early indicators for the offense to check. So I think that's one of the biggest things about him and how he's so successful is how he's able to disguise the things he does. He's really patient. I mean, he's a fifth-year player. You expect that.
Great point from Sergio. Half the team will not be throwing up because of the flu, like Bill was last week. Definitely going to make a huge difference. So, which is something too, no excuses during the week. We're sick, blah, blah, blah. Just after the game, you're like, oh, damn. And then the people that knew actually about it were like, yeah, it was bad. So
Yeah, went around the entire locker room. There's like over 22 guys.
which is a crazy amount. And then to think that they, in a game like that, which was like a heavyweight fight up until the very end, able to keep it out or hold it out.
A lot of IVs on the way home.
Which is crazy.
A lot of IVs, and them boys needed to get hydrated.
CF Kane fan, this is a point that I don't really feel like I've seen enough around, but it's one of those things where when you realize it, like, oh damn, is there an advantage that Heatherman? For either team, you could say an advantage for either side that Heatherman was Signetti's DC for 3 years, and the guy that he handpicked to be his DC when he went to James Madison. Like, I think that's another important factor too. Like, when he got the job, he said, "I want to pick that guy to bring with me." He brought offensive coaches with him from other places, but he was like, "That's my DC," which I thought was a really interesting aspect of it. What do you guys think, Steve? Do you think that has an effect?
I don't think it gives an advantage. I mean, you might know some tendencies for sure, but he knows tendencies of Coach Canetti, and I'm pretty sure there's a respect, definitely a mutual respect factor between those two. Obviously, when you're a head coach and you're building a staff together and you say, "This is my guy," obviously you respect that guy. You want him to work with you. You're banking on your success, from him. And obviously, that success took him to Big Ten in Minnesota, which then led him to Miami. So yeah, there's definitely, I don't think there's an advantage. I just think there's, a mutual respect for each other. And maybe that makes a more conservative approach from Signetti, because he knows what that defense can do. Maybe he doesn't want to just let our pass rushers, pin their ears back and just go after Mendoza all night. So, it might not be an advantage, but, it's definitely, I'd be lying to say it doesn't help your first 15 for sure. You're definitely going to help the first 15 on that play call sheet.
Fair point. Phil, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, man, there's been, this was a elongated week, right, with the extra couple days. So, I think these teams are kind of know each other kind of inside and out already. Just from, watching film, and, they probably even went back to, his Minnesota days to do that as well. So I don't really consider it. I don't think there's going to be a point where, Signetti's like, oh, it's, 2nd and 4 in the second quarter, he's definitely going to run this. I think if you start kind of doing that, that's maybe when you can catch them. But I think just, like Steve was saying, we got to stay kind of true to who we are and what's been working. And that's, stopping the run and, playing, just really aggressive physical defense.
I think some other things popping up there too. Fresh is chomping at the bit to get to quarterback portal talk, but we'll save that. We got a lot of time left to go before we get there. Bill, were you eating that tainted? I believe it was the Pecorino Romano. Like, let's be specific about our cheeses here. I believe it was the Pecorino Romano that was tainted. Bill was going out and getting listeria. There's a couple things I can't post in here. Question about Columbus. Here you go. With those.
Yeah, I can answer it.
Go ahead, ask this one.
I don't know if they're going to be the best team in Dade this year. I mean, Carol City is loading up. They're going crazy. I got a couple kids on our 7-on-7 team that, are at Carol City. Obviously, 5-star receiver Nick Lanier, 5-star athlete Aiden Johnson. I mean, they're loading up, and they're getting more transfers than they're the school right now where all the kids are transferring to. So I would bet there if, early money. But Columbus did get A1. If you guys don't know who A1 is, that's Amir Sears, the 5-star athlete. He's the number 1 cornerback in the nation, could be the number 1 receiver in the nation. He's the best player I've seen in a long time. He's over there wearing a shirt and tie now every day from school. He's a Broward boy, but he is down there in Columbus now. And that's going to help. It is definitely going to help. They're going to be good. Columbus is always good. They're always going to be well coached. They're going to have better trenches than most high school teams around them. Their offensive line full of Cubanos, and they move people. So, I think they're going to be good. I just don't know if they're going to be the best in Dade. But you never know. The hype for Carol City could just be hype. But I know a couple of those coaches, their defensive back coach extremely well. He coaches with me as well in 7-on-7. Coach KP played at the University of Miami. That's Keon Payne. He went to St. Thomas Aquinas. So that's a University of Miami guy. and they don't play. From what I heard and what gathering, they might even have more kids on the way, and that's just looking like a super team. To be honest with you, I can't believe the job that they've done. They're turning kids down because they're too loaded.
There was a couple comments from 2422 J-Rod about it's a little bit conspiracy theory. I did Google it. I did look to see what the video you're talking about. It's not going to bring it in here, but it is what we'll complain about that later, but I think we're okay. But it's one of those things that pops up in a week like this.
Wait, hold on. You Canes fan, are you talking about like Tyga, who's in the portal right now, Taron Dickens, or are you talking about Neiman Lawrence? That's the quarterback right now at the West. Because, bro, of course we offer him. We offered him when he's like 6 years old. Yeah, nah, like probably even before that, bro. That's Neiman Lawrence, 2028. Yes, we've offered him, and we're doing everything we can to make sure he's a Miami Hurricane. He's the best quarterback prospect we've ever had in Miami. As a recruit, we've had some good ones. Obviously, Lamar wasn't highly rated. If they can go back and rate that, he'd probably be the number one player in his class. But other than that, I mean, they don't make him like Neiman. He's cerebral, awesome kid.
All right, here, before we get to more of the recruiting stuff, let's spin it back to the other side of the ball. I'll talk about Miami's offense against Indiana's defense. And Indiana's defense plays a smart game. We saw what they were able to do. Dante Moore said at one point, again, not to be conspiracy theorist, but like super prepared. They were like, it looks like Aiden Fisher knew exactly what we were doing before we even were able to, like, when we lined up that. And it's a sign of a very well-prepared defense. Guys that have been with Signetti for quite some time, running the show back there too. But we have a Miami offense that should be able to do what Miami offense has been able to do throughout the entirety of the playoffs. So, like, if there's an offensive MVP for Miami throughout the playoffs, I mean, if it's not Mark Fletcher, I don't know what games you're watching. So there's certainly an opportunity for Mark Fletcher, Bill, to get his thing going and to continue to have the kind of impact he's had over the past couple games.
I mean, I could tell Indiana what we're going to do. We're going to run the football. It's going to be a lot of duo, inside zone, maybe a little play action every once in a while. But no, this is this is the game where you tell those five guys up front at Ballman too, blocking as a tight end. It's you just lean on them. You run. Force them. That prove that they can stop it. And then for Dawson, we those trick plays just haven't been working since what the second to last game of the season, or maybe the last game. But you have to have wrinkles, and kind of Dante Moore, like they were clawing out the plays, right? So kind of have that in the back of your mind. It doesn't have to be a trick play. It could just be, a wrinkle out of, when you typically run duo right out of that pistol formation, can you just do something different? Can you sneak loft it into the flat to convert, a 3rd and 3 or something along those lines? It doesn't have to be, cute or fancy from that perspective, but, you just pound it. You try and control the clock just like you did this entire playoff, right? You controlled the game, you controlled the tempo, and then once that fourth quarter hit, you wore those teams down. And I think that's the challenge: is can we get enough physicality right going through the first 3 quarters where we're gonna be in a very good position to win the fourth, because I don't believe Indiana is very deep. In terms of like D-line, they definitely have really good players. They're smaller, but
they lost their best player at celebrating after the Ohio State game.
Yep. So they do a lot of things up front. Almost like similar to Texas A&M in a sense, with a lot of stunts to try and get pressure, especially on passing downs. But like I say, if you're running the ball, keep it 3rd and short. Just be efficient. I think the efficiency is the key, right? Whether I'm not saying we need to score a certain amount, but if we're constantly driving the ball down the field, getting points, field goals, touchdowns, you feel good that your defense will be able to make enough plays. But just stay true to who you are, make them stop it.
Right, and don't do anything crazy on a first down to put you back in first or second and 14. Get yourself way behind the
Flea
sticks.
flicker. Flea flicker.
Just right now.
Scrap all the Mally Wildcat plays, scrap all the damn flea flickers, scrap all that, and let's just play football. I mean, the pistol, since we brought it out versus Texas A&M, Mark's been able to run the ball. Shamar, that's Marty Brown, that like they call him on TV, has been able to run the ball. I like to keep the pistol going. You could get them a couple steps going downhill. So when they see that hole and they hit it, they're bursting through and there's not contact till about 3 or 4 yards. And then they're driving from their legs at that point. So definitely don't want them to get too cute. I feel like every time we get cute in the playoffs, it's bitten us. It was definitely working at the end of the year. It was going crazy. Mally's throwing touchdowns. Mally's, he's running for touchdowns. This, that. Oh my God, he's making reads, and I'm telling you, yeah, he can play quarterback for us next year. That's why we haven't had a quarterback in the portal yet. But no, hand the ball off to Mark. Hand the ball off to to Brown. If you want to get Pringle in there, go ahead. I think his pass protection is kind of what's like limiting his play time right now, to be honest with you. He got blown up a couple of times, and Mark Fletcher, I believe, is the best pass pro running back in college football, at least from my limited biased opinion. But I've never seen running backs just be that consistent in pass pro. I mean, he just really doesn't miss. He gets over to the opposite side. He's really good at pass pro. It's going to make him, earn a lot of money after next year when he gets to the league. Run the ball, keep the pistol, forget the trick plays. If we hit a trick play and it actually hits, hey, whatever. But I mean, I'd just rather not, man. I think Indiana's way too disciplined for that. So let's just smash it down their throats. I don't think no team's been physical with them for 4 straight quarters outside of that Ohio State game in the championship and that Penn State game, which they almost lost. And they won miraculously with a crazy catch in the back. But they won those games because those teams could not keep up with that physicality, that dog fight that Kirk Cignetti's trying to bring, and we can, and we're ready for that. That's our game. So I'm ready to go. Just don't get too cute on offense, and let's just run the ball down their throats. Let's keep back in those manageable situations. We have seniors on offense. The stats for Keelan Marion were really good last week. The stats for CJ weren't as good, but the week before, when we were playing Ohio State, we needed those first downs. He was a senior. We could rely on him. So really, really actually happy with our weapons, being veterans like that. Keelan Marion popping on. CJ, who we know CJ is. We can get him the ball. He's going to make those plays. Mally, of course, we get him the ball with the ball in his hands, and he's cooking. So I really like our weapons. I just want to just keep running the ball. Don't get too cute. It doesn't have to be nothing. Do exactly what got us here, man. Physical, relentless football, and then just rely on the defense to make a play. I mean, if I had to bet for, when you close your eyes, you're like, okay, who's the guy on defense going to make a play? Like I would, like, there's so much dudes. Like I wouldn't know what to bet on. You could bet on Mezzi. You could bet on Scott. You could bet on Bain. You could bet on Bryce. You could bet on Wes. Like there's just so much dudes. You could bet on Moten. Like easy. Like any one of those guys could be the guy who makes that play. You could bet on OJ to make that play. Like there's just so much dudes on defense that, I mean, as long as like what Bill said, if we continue to score and put pressure on them, I feel good. I really feel good. Shootouts aren't Indiana's game. They want to play physical. They want to play Mario Ball just like us. However, if we play efficient Mario Ball, we can wear them down and consistently score. I think our defense is better than theirs. I think our defensive line is better than their offensive line. That's a biased opinion. However, let's just be real, bro. We got them dudes.
Yeah. I mean, we talk about that. We've been joking about the blue chip ratio for years, I think. And Miami obviously has the advantage in this one, but every team has had the advantage over Indiana. I think almost every team they've played, like when they played, I don't know if they played Rutgers this year, but if they did, Rutgers might have had the blue chip ratio advantage over them. Doesn't really matter. But in this game, you have guys that, have the pedigree and have played at a high level. There's no reason to say why a Ruben Bain, who very well could be on his way to being a top 5 pick in the NFL draft, can't pick this game to, again, be the dominant force that he was in a lot of other games that we've seen through the course of his career, both high school, college, youth, every level of it. Mesidor we've seen what he's been able to do, elevating himself and becoming a really, really good pass rusher after coming in as a, that hybrid inside-outside guy. And the tackle spot, which has been so strong and solid for Miami. Those young dudes, Justin Scott, just like automatically, like you see exactly why he is the guy that he is with the ability to step up, make plays, and Moten, like you said. So, we got
My bad. I don't want to cut you off, but bro, if David Blake jump off sides one more time, bro, I promise you, dog, I am going to lose it, bro. Watch the damn ball.
Stevo, hey, it is defense. I mean, he's so far away from the ball. How's he supposed to know it? Oh, never mind. He's like 8 inches away from it. He's like looking right at it.
Bro, they know. They're hard counting him. They know when he's in there, that's a free damn 5 yards, bro. He has like over 5 in the entire year, but you are a senior, bro. I promise you, if we had I'm sorry, bro. But
and I said
a good thing that I don't coach the University of Miami because he would not play another snap for me. After that, in the playoffs,
he took that bad personal foul too, not just the offsides when he hit I think it was Lacey late.
Yeah, or his running back. He dove on him.
Yeah.
He was already on the ground. Like, good thing I don't coach for University of Miami because, bro, he wouldn't even be dressing right now. Like, he wouldn't even get a ticket. And maybe I'm being extra because I'm fired up right now. That's definitely being extra. But he would be on the bench. The bench.
But
I'm sorry, bro.
Just to Steve-O's point, that at any time we have a penalty, we do not overcome that, whether it's on offense or defense. If we jump off sides, we might as well just punt. If it's defense, same thing. They're going to score points after we take a penalty. So it's just critical if we can't have probably more than 4 penalties the whole game.
Talking about don't even give him a ticket, and I'm still throwing him a lifeline. That's crazy.
But if we're 5+ penalties, we're probably not winning this game.
Yeah, no, we can't do Indiana no favors because they don't ever. They had a couple pass interferences last time. Pass interferences. Even though they don't get thrown on us, they get thrown on us. They don't get thrown on players. People playing us. We all seen that pass interference on C.J. Daniels where the guy literally grabbed him, tackled him. And there was no call on a really well thrown ball from Carson Beck. Like legit, if you don't grab CJ, that's literally a big play. You might tackle him right there, and he'll be down like right next to the end zone. But literally, that's why he tackled him because he didn't want to give up the big play. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, if we have more than 5-10 penalties, that's going to be hard. And yeah, if someone put it in their comments, Inez Cooper jumping offside, Cam Ward. Being the leader and the dog he is, went over there and checked his ass. Like, bro, what we doing? Like, Coop, what you doing? And him saying that on live is just like, bro, I just wish we had him this year, bro. Oh my God, we'd be celebrating the Natty right now already if we had Cam. If we had Cam, they would have just shipped that trophy to us after like A&M.
we wouldn't have been playing that first week. We wouldn't have been even like in that first week of games.
Yeah, they would have gave us a 4-game bye. Just hold the trophy.
Oh man. Now, last thing I want to say about this because I know J24 J Rod kind of question. I'm not going to ask this exact question because the percentage is like we'll see. You never know how tickets go with all that stuff. But like the advantage of playing this game at home. I know it's not going to be the crowd. It's going to be the sales of tickets. It's going to be even. Indiana people are going to travel because it's the first time they've ever had a chance to be at this level and all that kind of stuff. Right, blah, blah, blah. Right. But despite all that, the advantage of, like Mario said after the last one, you practice on Green Tree. Like you're practicing at home. Like you're sleeping in your bed. Like all of that stuff, it has to factor in a pretty significant way, you would imagine. Especially for a Miami team that hasn't been home in a very, very long time. Been road warrior for 2 months now. So, like, Bill, your thought, what kind of impact does it have on these guys, like, knowing that? And you're playing in a stadium where your family, they're driving 25 minutes from where you played high school to come watch you play. It's not like I got to pack up the whole family and fly out across the country so we're going to play in a game that way.
Thank God for Mama Mark, for Mama Fletcher. She ain't got to bust no crazy drive. She just got to come from Broward.
She should have worked some kind of like rent a car sponsorship at some point in this playoff for old Mark, because I mean, damn, they could have gotten some money off of this thing.
That's true. That's a good idea. Might as well swing that to her, like, hey, you might as well get like an enterprise NIL.
Yeah, right.
Like legit. I mean, I know they covering that for them. I'm just being real. And Mark getting plenty of bread now, NIL wise, but I'm pretty sure they're helping out with that. But yeah, enterprise, that'd be nice. A little NIL deal, mama clocking, bro. She got miles, bro. It's like over 30K. I mean, she drove to Dallas. She drove, man, every game. She don't miss. Shout out to her. That's awesome.
Wouldn't be hard to like wear the Fletcher shirt, like the Mark Fletcher jersey with a little enterprise patch on it or something. Like get her some money out of the deal.
On the way.
Yeah, they are. Go ahead, Bill. What you got?
Yeah. In game day itself, what is it? It's like 20,000 tickets for each fan base, and then the other 25 was like to the corporate sponsors. So I don't think game day atmosphere is necessarily going to be that impactful, right? The folks that can afford $4,000 tickets probably aren't the ones that are going to be screaming their heads off, or as enough of them to make an impact. But just to be able to be home and not have to, get on a plane again and go to the hotel and sit through meetings there. You're doing it all at Green Tree and your facility. I don't know. I don't know if I would say it's a significant advantage, but I would just probably say it's a luxury at this point to be able to just kind of get back into your routine, and then to play in front of your friends and family in your home stadium. It's a dream come true to play in a national championship game to begin with, but to be able to do it right for the crib, right? For the crib.
Yeah. Look that right, Bill. You didn't have to hesitate for the crib.
Steve, you asked a little bit when he said it, though.
Yeah, because kind of hesitant. Man, throw that thing out there, Bill, for the crib, man.
For the crib at the crib was in my mind. I just couldn't get it out. So I'm going to include that one on my count.
No, you hesitated.
Slight hesitation, Jersey boy.
Yeah. So you gotta throw me a lifeline every once in a while.
like Mendoza when he walks in the locker room. What's up, fellas? How you guys doing?
It's crazy. I never even thought about it playing for a national championship, in our home stadium, at home for the crib. Like Bill was saying, Battle Miami's going on this weekend. Hopefully we win this championship, and we move on, to Miami winning, this, hoping we get some of these Mally sets, but whatever, we'll see how that goes. Gabo's game, but playing in front of your crib is crazy. I mean, just the buzz, the economy is going to get a big jump, obviously with these, I'm pretty sure 99% of the human population went to Indiana apparently. So they're going to all be here spending money. There's a very nice little tour guide for them. If they're feeling patriotic, I think go check out Liberty City, all the great designs in Opelika, and for the people who like, mountainous terrains, Lauderhill, there's a great couple spots out there for the Hoosiers. Someone's gonna die from that video. It's not gonna be funny then, but it was hilarious. Someone might actually die, and I'm gonna feel terrible for laughing. But that is hilarious. I just hope those Hoosiers know that we're playing with them.
I would imagine they do, but at the same time, I mean, imagine they're gonna be concerned anyway, just being leaving Indiana. I don't know about this. I don't know where we're gonna go, but anyway. But it'll be one hell of a game, guys. It's a great chance to go. I mean, it took, like I said, it took 23 years to get back to this spot. So, you think about what you're doing 23 years ago. I mean, I was I was
7.
You would have been a
sophomore in high school. What, 2003?
No, if I was in 7th grade, you would have been a freshman.
Freshman in high school. I mean, you were what, Steve-O?
I was 7 years old, so I was in first grade.
Damn!
I wish I was in school when Miami was just whacking people. Oh man, I would have been insufferable.
Teacher pretty great, Steve.
What? It's about them Canes, but I don't care about this little math question. Get out of my face. What? I wouldn't have learned a damn thing if I would have got there on Monday and we just whooping whooping ASS every Saturday, man. I wish I would have went to school in that era, boy. What? What?
Trying to make me read poetry when we're about to seventh floor. We're about to just run over.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, bro. We doo-doo browning in the stands right now. Get out my face.
Oh man. But yeah, so I mean, 23 years, like you never know when the next time is gonna be around the corner. So like, make sure you guys enjoy these couple days, and I've been saying it since the start of the playoffs, man. Enjoy these few days before we get there. You know, talk what you want to talk, say what you got to say, and then if it comes out on the positive side, then we'll have a hell of a story to tell after that. But there is another part of this, and I know it's around 10 o'clock, and Fresh has been waiting since literally the first minute of this show. That there was two Let's Go Canes, and there was like, what quarterback? What are we going to do for quarterback? Not to make fun of you, Fresh, but I'm okay using that tone of voice to represent you in this moment because, yeah, all right, fine. We do need a quarterback for next year, and it is a little concerning that we don't have one. but I can't be that concerned. But still, like, Steve-O, you have any thoughts on it right now where we stand? Or I know we did get some great portal additions, and we will talk fully about those guys probably next week after our celebration, obviously. But
yeah, I got a couple receivers. Got some guys. We'll definitely be talking about it. But the main question is who's going to be throwing to those receivers. I mean, I like Luke Nickel. I like Darian Coleman. I don't care. You're playing in a national championship game. If you roll with a young guy, you roll with a young guy. I definitely think there's some options out there. I definitely think we're going to get a transfer quarterback. There's some smoke for a Big 12 quarterback coming our way, which I'm really cool with. He really would fit like a glove for this offense. But if not, I'm vibing. Sam Levitt, he went to LSU. I'm they gotten 3 portal quarterbacks. Like, what are you? The 5-star kid from USC transferred there because he didn't want to ride the bench. But he transferred to LSU to ride the bench. So it was just yeah. Some of these kids need their priorities straight, dog. Because Levitt could literally not have the year that he needs to go to the NFL and have to come back. And then what are you going to do? Transfer from LSU again? But whatever. I digress. I think we'll be fine. I think we are going to get a portal quarterback. I think I'm pretty confident in who it might be. I think there's 2 legit options for us. However, regardless, I just care about this natty. This team is going to be so stacked. If we have to roll with a young quarterback, this is the type of defense that can make up for those mistakes. This is the type of running game who can keep those kids on schedule. That's just my comments on it. I think we do get a portal quarterback, but if we have to roll with one of the young guns, who cares at this point?
Yeah, that's kind of how I'm feeling, Steve. That's something for August. 3 live Cane shows to discuss and be mad about. But
that's a May. We're gonna have spring football. Both of them are on campus. That's a May 3 live Canes.
We're gonna be rolling all through the summer. If we win though, Steve-O, I'm just gonna keep bringing it up. How about that game? And then we're just gonna be like, woo, that's it.
Yeah, for sure. We recruited both of those kids to the University of Miami. We didn't recruit them to ride the bench. So eventually they're gonna have to play.
Great.
On a scale 1 to 10, with 10 being full on panic, I'm at probably a 6.5, 7. Just because it is quarterback. However, we just offered someone $6.5 million. So that's out there. I would think someone would be like, hey, I can make a lot of money there and win and all that.
We are not going to give somebody $6.5 million.
Yeah,
I think that was a fake report.
Yeah, just the free advertising. We'll take.
Yeah, I think Ty helped us out with that. I don't think he ever actually thought about coming, but I think it actually was a benefit.
Well, he's very worried about his legacy at Bama of getting absolutely brutalized by Florida State, Georgia, and Indiana. I think he thinks people are going to build a statue of him. He doesn't realize that this is the dark ages for Bama. 20 years from now, people are going to look back at the first couple of DeBoer years and just be like, ugh, kind of like how we look back at the past 20 years for us here. But well, there's plenty of time to talk about it.
Ty Simpson, head man for the softest team I've ever seen in Bama. I've never, even before Coach Saban got there, they were never that soft, even though they weren't as good. But
Mike Shula teams.
Yeah, like yo, that's crazy. A bunch of pillowcases out there.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, it's important, and just damn the system for having this calendar the way it is. They just can't get anything right. It seems like, but again, I think we'll figure it out. I'm pretty much at the point where I was 100% invested in the transfer portal, but now I'm right, we're about to be 4 days out from the national championship. I want to kind of take a step back and just savor the moment. I'll worry about 2026 on January 20th.
Yeah, it's hard to get distracted from the. I know college football media as a whole is distracted. I know the national networks are getting distracted. I know everyone's getting distracted.
Someone just hit the portal.
Oh,
at quarterback.
Oh,
Michigan, Jake Garcia.
Steve-O.
I had to do it. Yeah, I had to do it. I got
my
text.
phone out. Steve-O.
I got a text. He's like, "Yeah, look who hit the portal."
I saw it earlier. I didn't want to make that joke.
I had to. I just got a text. It was just like, "Yo, hey, former Miami, Missouri, and East Carolina quarterback."
And then Trump and Rubio are going to be attending the game as well. So if you are lucky enough to be going, just probably anticipate some extra security.
It's gonna be crazy.
Oh yeah, good. I mean, it's a crazy.
Well, yeah, I guess. Well, Trump's granddaughter does go to Miami. I think she's on the golf team, so there is actually a connection there.
Yeah, I think that is true because I've heard that like 2 times.
Yeah, I'll double check her.
Imagine they tell the president he can't get a ticket. Nah, bro, we're sold out, fam. Sorry, bro, but we need Andre in here. We need Santana. I'd tell him pack his bad bags. You stay in West Palm, bro. You ain't from the crib. Well, let me not say West Palm, not from the crib, but you know what I mean.
Kai's a golfer, class of 2030 for the University of Miami.
Oh, so she's like a freshman, or she just has the hardest major you ever heard of. Because they said that like last year.
Oh man, Steve-O, really some like A+ tier comedy at the end of the show. Excellent job here, Steve-O. Stepping up in a big way. I'm excited for the national championship. First, the Jake Garcia thing had me and Bill both rushing to our phones to see who jumped in the portal. All right, so before we get on out of here, guys, I mean, how could we not do predictions, right?
One final time.
How can we not? And because it's the final time, I think it's fair if Bill goes first. For no reason in particular.
24-23. Canes, of course.
24-23?
24-23.
See, you Canes fan, you said Bill.
Y'all boys start dropping them in the chat. Y'all know what time it is, man.
Oh, man. All right, Steve, what do you got?
I'm going to go 28-21 Canes.
It's like a very even score. I like it.
Yeah.
Just 4 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns, no field goal.
Yeah, no field goal.
Soft ass field goal nonsense. Let's see. I think we had Game had 27-24. David Everett had 35-24. You Canes fan, you 27-21. Oh man, who was it bagging up mad last week because we had the Canes scoring 30 and he was like no shot. Is that bagging up?
Nah, bagging up dropped a Bill prediction last
week. Oh, Bill, yeah, bagging up threw us off. Bill, I don't know if you saw that, but bagging up dropped the Canes losing, and he was like, "No, I'm just kidding." Just wanted to freak out. Oh man,
damn, B-Harp. I don't think neither one of us scoring 40.
It's like the highest scoring national championship game in history. I like it, B-Harp. I mean, I'd rather not. I don't think my heart could take 45-41, but J-Rod's got 31-17. XR Plumbing. Hopefully we're helping out your business. Put it up to XRP Plumbing, 33-27 Canes. Fresh 42-14. I don't know. That's a lot. I appreciate it though. I'm gonna go.
What you stalling for, Chris? What's up?
I'm thinking, Steve-O, I'm a mathematician on this stuff.
Wait, win 1 year now. Now he's Albert Einstein.
Thinking back to when I was in high school, and I didn't spend all that time not doing math because I was trash talking about the Canes. Wish I would have done some basic algebra. Would help me out.
Would have been. I would have traded that for anything, man. Literally. Where's your homework at? You did not see the game last night? What are you talking about? Like, get out my face.
You ever seen? I watched Andre Johnson highlights for the past 3 hours. We need to do homework
bro.
more. That's time for that.
Yo, edge.
You haven't even seen Javon Nanton rushing the passer. Come on now.
Yeah, bro. I would have been going crazy, bro.
Sergio's got 24-20, 27-20. I'm gonna go 24. I think probably someone else probably said it, but I don't care. I'm gonna go. Oh yeah, Sergio just said it. I was gonna go 24-20, but he just whatever. I'm with Sergio. 24-20. 24-20. University of Miami.
You want to? It's the last one. Y'all want to pick one from the chat?
Do we pick one from the chat? I mean, do we rattle off everyone's again just to make sure like all of them get seen?
I think we went through them all. But you could spam them. Why not?
I'll spam them real quick just to make sure everyone gets their moment here. CF Kane fan was 27-24. You Canes fan, you said about Bill 50-7. David Everett 35-24. You Canes fan, use actual prediction 27-21. eEarn 45-41. J-Rod 31-17. XRP Plumbing 33-27. Fresh has 42-14. Sergio 24-20. Copying me. One Worrell 27-20. That's it. We haven't done crazy predictions for the playoffs. But I'll put your comments up because what the hell. JoJo Trader catches a touchdown. I know it. Man, if JoJo, after all the stuff JoJo's been having to deal with, JoJo gets like a 45-yard touchdown in this game, I would be so happy for him. I would be so happy for him. Crazy predictions. Carson throws under 150. Fletcher has 150 yards. I'd rather that not happen. So.
Yeah, that sounds like an L.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't love
that.
I like 150 rushing yards, but let's break two.
Yeah, 200 and 150 sound good because you know Shamar gonna eat.
Shamar runs about 40 times. I think it was Sergio said
20 each.
20 each, yeah. I like that. Just run them. If they each get 20 carries in this game, then we definitely won. If Mark Fletcher's walking out of there like wondering about like filing abuse charges against Mario for the amount of carries he's had in this game, then I think we won the game. Imagine Fletcher 37 carries like it's 1983, like just straight up the
Derrick
old
Henry
days.
in high school.
Yeah, just Mark, you alive? Yeah, run the ball.
There is no tomorrow. If he can hit, you got to do it.
Whoa.
Yeah, he might declare.
Hold on a minute. Hold on 1 second. Back it up's got back throwing for 300 in this game.
I ain't seen him all night. He knew what time it was. It was good. Bagging up.
Where's the score? Back it up.
Yeah, where's the drop that score?
We're not shutting his feet off until I get the back it up score.
Wait a second. Beck throwing for 300. Well, how much he threw for? Oh, hold on. Let me pull it up. Because I know that 55-yard tutty to Marion helped, and as well as
Ooh. Oh my goodness. It's live. Back it up. 33-27.
Yeah, Beck threw for 268 last game. We just get that interception out, and we're gravy.
And the line did move to 8.5 today.
Ooh.
Yeah, I caught Hard Rock at 260. I seen somebody else put it in. Yeah, I'm green, baby. Come on, Canes. Come on, Canes. If not, I gotta work overtime next week.
Steve will put $50,000 on that game.
Yeah, if I had $50,000, my girl probably would not be letting me do this show. We'd be doing something else. We might have ticket. We might have bought a ticket.
Say Steve-O's gonna have to sell his computer, be doing this game off of his Nokia phone next week. Here we go. I agree. All right, boys, that's it. That's it, and that's all. We've been doing this show for I don't know how many years. I really honestly forget, but it's at least like probably 6. Like 6 total years of the show or something.
2019,
crazy.
2020.
Yeah, forever. Like pre-COVID. Like the world changed and we changed back in the span of us doing this show. And in all that time, we've had a lot of like, oh man, it did. Oh man, it did. Here we are on nearing the eve of a national championship game. And we got a chance to talk about it with all of these people that watch the show, man. It's what an opportunity. I'm so happy that we got a chance to talk about this and we have a chance to watch this. So happy for the Canes fans to get to experience this. It's 23 years, man. It's a long time. That's a long time to wait for a moment like this. So we'll be hyped up on Monday. You get to hopefully a lot of you guys are off. You know, it's national holiday. You get a chance to kind of sit there and just like sit in your basement and just lock in thinking about the strategy of this game and confuse your family members. We're like, are you going to come up for lunch? No, baby, I'm locked in. I am locked in right now. Bill's going to have his jersey on from the team, I know. Got to get this jersey stretched out so I can put it on.
Is that an Njoku jersey?
No, it's I think his name was Nate Potter. So when they said those free ones out there in the summer, or those not the free ones, but the ones you like.
You have to donate.
You have to donate.
Yeah.
I got my Kayleon Herbert jersey.
Oh, that nice. Broward, baby.
Mine are tucked away, but I have my Caleb Spencer jersey and the long sign. I think his name was Jake Wood or something like that.
They did a Caleb Spencer, even though he transferred out. That's lit.
Yeah, they were just awesome jerseys.
In reality, CF Kane had said something about superstitions before. I had people that were asking me, "Hey, you want to come watch the game, the last game?" And I said to them, "Look, I'm not going to lie to you. I can't because I have to sit in the same exact spot wearing the same exact clothes that I've been for the last couple games. Like, I can't mess with this. I'm going to be sitting on my couch on the exact cushion that I've been watching these games on. I can't play with this."
I was extremely nervous that I was going to be away from my house for the Ole Miss game. I was like terrified that I was going to mess with the juju here, but we're good. We're good.
Yeah, I would have blamed you too, Bill, for the rest of our lives. I would have blamed you for that loss. Steve, you've been in the same spot? You've been moving around?
Yeah, nah, I've been home. We've been doing our thing.
Excellent. That's what. Hey, we all have to make sacrifices, guys. We all have to make sacrifices to help this thing get across the finish line. All right, but that'll do it for us. But before we get out of here, Bill, final thoughts for the people.
Oh man, thinking back to the last time we were in a championship game, and obviously it didn't go our way. I remember we watched it in Chris's basement, but kind of just walking home all dejected. I never would have thought it would be this long until we got back. What's that? I was going to end it with that, so we're good. But here we are again. It's just enjoy the build up, right? And enjoy it. Again, it's for the crib at the crib.
No hesitation, Steve-O. Not 1 second of hesitation.
Yeah, I was practicing that in front of the mirror like 8 Mile.
Steve-O, final thoughts for the people.
Man, let's get it. It's a big weekend. Coach Battle Miami for national championships. I mean, yeah, that all day. I'm just ready, man. I'm ready to go. This is awesome for Canes family. This is awesome for the whole entire community. It's just time. Nothing else to say. It's just time.
All right, guys, I'll do it for us. The biggest game. I mean, I'll say it for the 4th time in a matter of like 5 weeks, whatever it's been. But the biggest game Miami has played in over 2 decades is back. You could argue it's a bigger game than even what we saw. It might be since the 2001 title game because that was a 10-year gap. So now we're talking 23 years from even being in the building for it. So, I mean, this is a significant thing. The longest amount of time Miami has ever had to wait between national championship games. We are here at that exact moment. We'll see what Miami's able to do on Monday night. All right, guys. Thank you guys for watching the show. We appreciate you. Bill, Chris, to come down for the parade. I mean, I imagine D-Money's probably to foot that bill to fly us down. I would think we got to be there for. I mean, if we've been doing the Lord's work here for 6 years, he might be wanting to throw that money out there. We'll have to ask him like as soon as the game ends. Hey, you're cool with this, right? Like, oh yeah. Put it in there. But anyway, thank you guys for watching the show. We appreciate you guys always being a part of it. It's a cold, crazy ride to get to this point. Nothing really else to say, like Steve-O said, until like Monday. Get an opportunity to do something really great, be a part of history, be remembered forever. See if the boys can go out there and do it. So for Bill and Chris, thank you to everybody at CanesInSight for allowing us to do what we do. Thank you guys for watching the show and listening. My name is Chris. We will see you again next week right here on 3 Live Canes.
This is for the national championship for Nebraska. He's a stud, that Brown, number 98. Irvin's got it. Irvin's free. Slips to the outside, tries to stiff arm, but he couldn't get by Ray Lewis.
Big time players. Step up in big game.
Hurt, dog. Don't ask me if I'm all right. Hell no. Duffy Husker up to the races. That's what they needed.
That's Ricks going up for Thorpe, and it's intercepted.